Welcome to my home renovation. I'm Christian. On today's video, we're going to do some backsplash for the kitchen. On this side, I have a tempered glass. I had somebody to cut it for me with holes on it. I have some anchors I have to put in a wall to attach the glass on a wall. On this side, I'm going to put a few tiles as well, and as well over the countertop all around the kitchen. Before doing all these things, a lot of work has to be done. On this side, I have to fix the arch over there. I don't know if you can see, but this arch is actually falling down. If I can check a little bit the bricks, and I don't know how long it's going to hold. So I have to secure that, make it a little bit more safer, look a little bit prettier, because I'm going to fix the joints over there and also for the bricks. Might as well just redo all the joint, like that the color is going to match. So I have to redo all the joint. It's going to be a little bit messy. And so when all the joint is done, I will be able to tile on this side. On the other side, before tiling, I'm going to have to finish the windows, put a windows frame, and then I will be able to start doing some tiling on the other side. So that is the plan for the video, and hope you enjoy it. Wheelchair. So I'm starting to work with the arch, so I need to set up a jack to lift up the arch, but I cannot do that directly from the floor because I'm afraid to damage the tiles. So I'm using the beam of the house to screw up some 3/4 inch plywood. On this plywood, I will set up 2 2x3s across to hold my jacks. Previously made a beam with 2 2x3s and plywood to match the arc. I'm using the beam to push up equally the bricks. Unfortunately, I forgot to reset the camera, so we won't be able to see the bricks going up. I had about 1/2 inch of a drop, and I lift up about between 1/4 and 3/8 of an inch. So the plan is to remove between 1/4 to 1/2 inch of the cement around the bricks. That will allow me to put a uniform coat of mortar on the joint all across the wall. To remove the old mortar, I'm using a special tools to scrape off the joint. This technique is slow and difficult when scraping close to the wall or ceiling, and often a hammer is necessary to help scraping off the joints. Around this area where the arch was broken, I scraped deeper the joint, and after cleaning up the dust inside the cracks, I am applying an epoxy glue, usually designed to hold anchors in concrete or rocks. That done, it is time to continue scraping off the joint on the other side. Then I had the idea to use my oscillating tools because it is not doing a full evolution but a small back and forth movement. I did not think that would create much dust. But I guess I was wrong. I had to clean up my entire kitchen after I was done. I used a blade designed to cut or grind material like tiles or cement, and it worked very well. I was able to get the job done in no time. When preparing the mortar, I added a little bit of colorant in the cement to try to get as close as possible to the original color of the joint. So the process is to put the mortar in the groove. I use a special trowel that is a 1/4 inch wide and push the mortar into the groove. After a few rows down, I'm using the cap of a highliner to smooth out the joints. Then with water spray and a sponge, I clean up the excess of mortar of the wall. On this video I'm showing you only 1 coat of sealant, but 3 coats has been applied total. Because we're in a kitchen, it is important to me to have the brick sealed and be able to clean up the wall as necessary. The brick was absorbing the sealant very fast, to the point when I was finished to put my first coat of sealant, the first brick was already almost dried. I first used a roller, but most of the sealant fell off before I have time to roll it out into the wall. Also, the brush was doing a better job to seal the joint and groove inside the bricks. Time to remove the jack. This time I was careful to set up the camera a little bit better. You're welcome. I wasn't sure how much pressure was applying to the arch and if my fix would be enough to hold the brick in place. There you go, after removing the jacks and the beam, thing all perfectly in place, no more cracks. The thing is pretty well lined up and I'm actually pretty happy of the end result. So the last thing to do now before I lay down some tiles is to set up this stripper wood around the countertop, and we'll be able to lay the tiles on it. Before laying down the tiles, I try to figure out what would be the pattern I would have to follow to maintain the flow. Then after popping up the circuit breaker, I detach the outlet for being able to fit the tiles around it. I never done this type of tile before. I had to adapt as I was going. First, I quickly realized using a piece of plywood is very helpful to apply constant pressure across a sheet of tiles. But the real problem I had was the motor was going through the joint. After laying a few sheets of tiles, I realized by not using the notch trowel that reduces the problem. For the cooktop side, I could not find tiles with the shape I wanted, but I was able to find the tiles with the stone look. So before laying down the tiles, I reckoning it to the final dimensions I wanted. Before cleaning everything up for the day, I'm coming back with a flat screwdriver to remove all excess of mortar in the joints. Grouting it is a pretty easy step, but the amount of joint to fill up can be overwhelming. And I almost forgot to do a small section. Because the amount of joint, it is hard to see if you miss a spot or not, and the joints are also smaller than traditional styles. So you really have to spend extra time to make sure everything is properly filled up. The amount of joint also makes the cleaning part very long. Yeah, I just finished to do the grouting for my backsplash. Now I'm going to put a temper glass. When I first made the temper glass, what I done is I made this template. And from this template I put all my holes where I want it, to all my anchors. And now I'm going to reuse this template to actually drill the holes. So I just have to put a template over there. Exactly where I want it. And there goes with the drill. Drill right in the center of the hole. Put the anchors in and good to go. Now I have my 4 holes down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the anchors attached to the windows, fill up the holes with some epoxy, and put the windows at once with all 4 anchors. And I should have like technically a perfect fit. So the first step after cleaning the windows is to make sure I have the right outside, facing outside. So I'm just using my template. I have an arrow over there telling me the top also, so I know right side is the top and it's facing properly. For the anchors, that is what they offer me. So it's something simple, just a few pieces inside. So the anchors has the 2 threaded parts. One goes in concrete and the other one is for the big washer, so you have a spacer. I have a piece of plastic for both sides, and that is what is going to stick out and tight the windows against the anchor. Now the glass is ready, it is time to fill up the holes with the epoxy glue. This type of glue is very strong but also dry very fast. So as soon as the epoxy is in, I have to set up the glass in place with no delay.
hope you enjoy this video. Leave a comment, and I want to hear about what you think and what you will do differently. This video is a part of a series of videos about how I transform my kitchen. So if you didn't saw the other videos, start by this one, 11 days to redo my kitchen. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe and put a thumbs up. See you next time.